when you're moving from place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Adana Kumbi. Indeed, it is a good day to give God thanks and praise for being in the land of the living. It's Friday, the 13th of October 2023, the day before the weekend. The weekend has begun. It's beautiful, beautiful Friday. So, Julian,
yes, indeed.
What are your plans? What's happening this weekend?
Well, I'm hoping this weekend to have a combination of activities, one of which certainly includes the Blue Food.
Yes, of course.
So we're hoping indeed. In fact, today is Blue Day, and there's that Blue Day competition among stakeholders connected both the Tobago House of Assembly and state agencies. We look forward to see what that will put forward. I must note as well that the reigning champions are the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport in the Tobago House of Assembly. So we look forward to see what the outcome would be today for all those others that will be coming to challenge the defending champions, the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. And then on Sunday, obviously, all roads lead to the Bloody Bay, the Blue Food Festival, and to remind persons we headed north side that the shuttles and so would be available from as early as 9 o'clock. Feel free to check the socials accordingly, because the activities get started at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. That's right. That's right.
How have you been? What's your weekend plans, Adana?
I just want to relax. I mean, I want to participate in the Blue Food events, but I also want to relax because there's so much going on right now that I am a part of. But I think I will make it. I think I'll make a trek to Bloody Bay this year. I haven't been for a couple of years.
Cameron, the technical team, take note. We're calling Adana early Sunday morning, all right?
Oh, after church now. Oh, well, let me come up. Let me go to church first. But I plan to make that trek this year, I plan to make that trek this year.
Right. And I know we also have some competitions happening today through the division with regards to, this is the junior segment, in terms of what we'd consider the equivalence of a junior soca monarch. And I know that we will be carrying it live here on Tobago Updates. As we're aware today, all our students have a day out because of the teacher session that's taking place today. So certainly we invite you to tune in and see our young people compete, as part of the Tobago October Carnival for their title for Junior Soca Monarch. Indeed, we look forward to seeing the outcome of that.
That's right. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us. And we're going to head on over right now into news in 90 seconds with Tanika Cruikshank.
Thank you, Adana and Julian. I am Tanika Cruikshank, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 13th of October, 2023. During the 2024 budget debate, Princess Tongue MP Barry Padarat expressed his disbelief that the government has set a time span of June 2024 to complete the entire process of reviving water rates through the regulated industries ministry. Padarat criticized Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez for what he considered an uninformative contribution to the debate, likening it to dry and empty taps. Padarat also highlighted the widespread water crisis in the country, with many communities enduring weeks or months of dry and empty tanks. He labeled Gonzalez's water plan supplies improvement as a mere spin and expressed skepticism on commissioning and refurbished initiatives. The Tobago October Carnival Association fosters a greater turnout of masqueraders this year. TOCA interim president Dexter Sandy credited the positive impact of their bandhouse at the Shaw Park Cultural Complex, which was set up over just 2 weeks and allowed a broader range of costume options. This approach resulted in increased costume sales and hinted a higher participation in Juvet Nice Mass and the Parade of the Bands. Dexter expressed confidence in the success of the second Tobago October Carnival. 25 Immigration Detection Center officers graduated after a 10-week law enforcement program at the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Training Academy. Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines highlighted that the ministry's Immigration Division, in collaboration with the government, established an immigration detention center in Aripo in 2009 to deter illegal immigrants. However, with the Office of the Law Enforcement Policies responsible for training officers, Hines commended the new officers for their dedication amidst a challenging crime situation and influx of illegal immigrants. He stressed on the role officers play as the first and last point of contact for travelers entering and leaving Trinidad and Tobago. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds.
Tanika bringing us the news in 90 seconds. You know, I would have also heard, saw the letter. Very interesting, and we look to see what the outcome of this will be with the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, writing to Kamla Persad-Bissessor, opposition leader, and the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessor, seeking to have the coming together, identifying the government's team, and similarly calling for feedback in terms of the team that will come forward on behalf of the opposition to really have a combined effort to treat with crime. So we look forward to seeing what the outcome of that will be, Adana.
Yes, very much so.
Who do we have on the lineup this morning? Who do we get started with in the mix this morning, Adana?
We are speaking with
in fact, I've now noted the update here.
Right.
We're speaking with Chanelli Patel, and that's Head of Political, Economic and Press, and Andre Blackburn, Political and Press Officer. So we're speaking to the British High Commission this morning. We're getting some insights in terms of upcoming initiatives, and if you've ever heard about the Chevening Scholarship, we'll be chatting a little bit about that to get some more insight.
All right, and we're also speaking with Garth Jacob. He is Divisional Fire Officer with the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, and Roxanne Lewis, Acting Assistant Divisional Fire Officer as well. And we're talking about, of course, we're in the month of October as we prepare for Tobago Carnival. So we're talking about the readiness of Tobago for the Carnival season, where the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services is concerned. And of course, we're going into the sports segment with Mr. Cricket, who will be here later on today to speak with Mr. Huey Cadet, the manager of 1976 FC Phoenix, Nigel D'Souza, head coach, and Javon Williams, captain, as they talk about Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League Tier 2 Championships. And rounding up the conversations this morning, we're speaking with Kenny Alfred, president of Tobago Football Association, FC Cup and League. So that's who we're going to have conversations with today.
Excellent. And viewers, we head straight on into our birthday shout-outs.
And we have celebrating a birthday today, the man himself. Happy birthday to Teamer's director, Mr. Alan Stewart, from his family and all his staff at the Teamer office here in Tobago. Happy birthday also from the Tobago Updates team.
Birthday shout-outs, and I like to say, oh God, her vocals are amazing. Sharon Phillips, wishing you a happy birthday, and indeed continued blessings. We trust that you enjoy the birthday celebration straight on into the long weekend.
Oh, and celebrating a birthday today is Assemblyman Joel Sampson, better known. You know, this is the guy that is a community kind of guy. You know, he likes his sports and these types of things, better known as Nutsy, right? So we want to say happy birthday to you, Nutsy, coming out from all of us here at the Tobago Updates television crew. Happy birthday to you. Indeed,
birthday blessings going out. His entire community seems to be connected to him.
Yes, yes.
And, you know, as you rightfully say, you're always saying Nutsy in and around. And we're also saying a birthday shout out this morning to Joel Johnson. And this is coming from your entire family, and Oswald and Via George, wishing you a happy birthday and continued blessings going out to you, Joel Johnson.
Okay, guys.
And that's it for our birthday shout-outs today. And very quickly, we should have a flyer coming up. Just a reminder, we were speaking about it a little earlier, happening today, and it will be taking place live here on the Tobago Updates. And this is courtesy the Division of Tourism. And this is the Calypso Monarch, the junior Calypso Monarch. So my correction, not soca. That's just my love and my passion. But the junior Calypso Monarch takes place today from 10 a.m. at the Shore Park Complex Auditorium. Admission is free. Guest performer with all the energy and hype for our young people, Iowa George. Right. And certainly we look forward to that taking place today. And to remind you that we will be carrying it live here on Tobago Update. So feel free to tune in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for staying with us, and we're going to head on over right now to Tobago in Focus.
One of the major learning curves encountered during the COVID-19 pandemic was the increased use of innovation and technology to conduct daily functions. This major hurdle affected the country's education sector tremendously, with teachers, students, and parents having to quickly find ways to continue teaching and learning using these means. Post-pandemic, the Division of Education, Research and Technology is finding ways to integrate online and in-person learning and teaching, thus establishing the Hybrid Education Committee.
A committee was put together, made up of persons within the Division of Education, principals, parents, etc., a large, varied stakeholder group, and we are working towards developing a very pragmatic policy guideline to help us to utilize all of the positive things that we got through the pandemic, along with our face-to-face.
This new initiative seeks to reduce teaching and learning loss due to several factors, such as unpredictable weather patterns or another pandemic situation. From early childhood to tertiary level education are represented on the committee, with multi-departmental input and expertise from the division. Technical advisor from DIRTEC, Natasha Second, assured that this initiative is not just another talk shop, and the committee is well on its way to fulfill a seamless integration among all educational institutions on the island.
We wanted to look at all of the challenges and place a solution for each of them. So the guideline or the policy guidelines will meet all of the challenges that we could perceive of.
Ms. Second revealed that the committee, formed in April 2023, has a 6-month implementation deadline, which will include a pilot project in selected schools and the delivery of the completed policy and guidelines.
25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is a brunch-style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
Tobago Carnival, Caribbean Vibes presents Tequila Sunset. Tequila Sunset, October 27th. Scarborough Esplanade from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's a cooler fete like no other. Bring your squad and we'll take care of the vibe with your top TNT and New York DJs, surprise guest artists. Tequila Sunset will be an epic event you will never forget. Early bird tickets are $199 TT or $30 US. Get your tickets online on islandetickets.com or frontlineticketing.com. For more info, call 475-6218 or 754-7344. And New York, 917-561-9742. All drinks must be in plastic bottles and no ice or chaser allowed. Tequila Sunset, October 27th, Scarborough Esplanade.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. I'm Julian Skeet, and in this segment, we are happy just about 7:11 a.m., and we're happy to be chatting with the British High Commission. Indeed, she has held up to her commitment. We had a virtual interview some time ago chatting on another area of focus, and today she's not here with us virtually, but she's here with us in person, and we are chatting with Chanelli Patel, Head of Political, Economic and Press out of the British High Commission, and Andre Blackburn, Political and Press Officer. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Julian, and good morning, Tobago, and so happy to be here in person.
We are indeed happy to have you all here with us. So this morning, we actually talking another outstanding initiative coming out from the British High Commission, and I dare say I became knowledgeable about this through a few of my friends who would have been exposed a few years ago. So therefore, we're now about to share this information far and wide. So let's start off firstly by giving a sense of that broader view and perspective, the focus, the intent, the objective of the Chevening scholarships.
So UK Chevening Scholarship has been running for 40 years. This is the 40th year, Julian. It's a fully funded one-year master's degree in UK. And who can apply for it is anyone. There is no typical Chevening scholar. If you're passionate, you've got great ideas, you're looking for like solutions for the future, for your country, you can apply. And the application criteria, I know Andre will cover in a moment. And today we're bringing it to Tobago. We'll be at the Scarborough Library from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're hoping that members of the public can come and talk to us, not just about the Chevening Scholarship, but what is it like in terms of life in the UK, culturally, being in a different country, and then obviously bringing that learning back to Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, excellent. Andre, tell us a little bit about that ability to be able to qualify. What do you look for in terms of when persons apply for consideration?
Sure, Julian. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having us. So the eligibility criteria, first you have to be a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. You have to have at least 2 years work experience. We do recognize that not everyone has work experience, so we do take into consideration internships and on-the-job training. You also have to have completed all the components of an undergraduate degree program, and preferably an upper second degree. And you also have to apply to at least 3 eligibility university courses, postgraduate university courses in the UK to be eligible for this. But most importantly, you have to return to Trinidad and Tobago for a minimum of 2 years once your award has been completed in the UK.
All right, certainly ensuring that the island and the Caribbean region is able to benefit from the experience in terms of heading out there. Tell us a little bit about a few of what you describe of some of your successful individuals out of Trinidad and Tobago, and more specifically, even if you want to reference Tobago in relation to the Chevening Scholarship.
Please, yep.
Okay, so since the inception of the Chevening Scholarship in 1983, we've had Trinidad and Tobago has had 167 scholars across Trinidad and Tobago. We've had quite high-profile Chevening scholars, including Donna Cox, who's the Minister of Social Development, and we have a few outstanding Tobago scholars as well. Some of them will be joining us today at the information session at the library. Chanali, anything to add to that?
And also, I think the biggest advantage of the Chevening Scholarship is that you're part of an amazing alumni. There's 55,000 alumni globally, but obviously a strong alumni in Trinidad and Tobago. And what we tend to also do, Julian, is when the alumni returns, from pursuing a master's degree, they can get involved in events and initiatives at the British High Commission and broader in communities. So you're continuing that kind of, giving back element even post a master's degree.
How would you say the impact has been looking at it over the period? As I said, I've got some colleagues. I know my very good friend Cindy out there in Guyana, is a Chevening scholar, and Tioka Dove right across in Trinidad. But tell us, what would you say is that broader impact and support? Because it almost seems like when they return from this experience, they become an ambassador and they always speak and to be able to push and promote. Tell us a little bit about the experience for the persons who might be wondering, is this for me in terms of heading out to benefit from the experience?
Sure. So I think the beauty of the Chevening Scholarship is fully funded. So your tuition fees are covered. Your the degree is free. You have a living expense sort of stipend every month, which covers your rent and your living expenses. Your visa fees are waived. So basically, you get to focus on your studies. You get to explore the UK culture. You get to be a part of an amazing network a 55,000 plus Chevening alumni, some of whom are, heads of states or heads of governments, and you get to be a part of that.
All right, excellent. So Nelly, tell me, what can persons look forward to today for those with the session that takes place from it's 9 to 3 p.m. today at the Scarborough Library?
One of the biggest learnings, I think, Julian, we had is that when we do Chevening Scholarship, application process or advertising the application process, we hadn't reached out to communities as much. This is our first time in Tobago doing this outreach. So what they can expect is, what does this master's degree look like? It can be in any field, by the way. Can I just specify? It's not like you're pursuing, for example, international relations. It could be in agriculture. It could be digital creation. It could be any field. And come talk to us about that. Come talk to us about actually what does that support, like you said, looks like once you apply and you're in the UK, but also when you come back, how can you engage with the British High Commission? So any questions, any dialogue, most happy to take those questions today.
All right. Are we working with, tell us a little bit about the timelines that you may be working with in relation to, how soon, where persons might be able to access additional information online and so on.
Fantastic. So we're in luck because the Chevening Scholarship window application is open now. It's going to close on the 7th of November at 7 a.m. Trinidad and Tobago time. Everything is done online. You visit www.chevening.org. You apply online and you get all the information you need on www.chevening.org.
All right. So when you get on there, there's the online application and it gives you the wide range of areas for study that persons would look at and to be able to connect with the universities. Sometimes we like to get a little insight. I see a master's program that I might have interest in. Does it also afford that in terms of being able to select and so people can get a better idea of the details?
That's right. There's a full list of courses, postgraduate courses that you can choose from online. So all of the information is there.
All right. What does that list range about? Just about 10, hundreds? Tell me.
It's in the hundreds. We have about 150 university partnerships within the UK, and we have, from the Oxford universities to Cambridge to Bristol, top universities are part of this Chevening Scholarship.
Right. I know we say anything, and I'm very familiar with the fact that you can look at any area. But just would you want to just capture or touch on a few that you've seen over the years, persons have grasped towards or seek out opportunities in?
Fantastic. Yeah, sure. So this year we had two amazing scholars. One of them, Sasha Alexander George, she's actually going to do an MSc in digital marketing. And we had another gentleman, Jessel Brazan, who is actually going to do an MA in fashion management, just to show you the wide range of topic subjects that are covered. In the past, we've had people study law, international relations, so it's a wide, that's the beauty of the Chevening Scholarship. You're not tied to one subject area or particular subject areas. And once you have the passion, drive to be a leader in your field, we'll support you.
Excellent. There's that natural already, the excitement fit. Just to clarify again for persons, any age group, any age limits at all in terms of persons heading out?
That's right. I think, again, the beauty of the scholarship is such that we called it kind of a blind recruitment process where we don't see your age, we don't see your gender, we don't see background, education, sexual orientation. This is purely on the application merit that you go through go through the sifting and then interview process.
Excellent. Andrew, I just wanted to remind persons again, because you see, I want to ensure people recognize that this is an opportunity to be taken up out there. It's 1 year, correct?
Yes.
Right. In terms of a 1 year program, really helping to enhance that skill set. They're going to be at the Scarborough Library from 9 to 3 p.m. Just remind persons again from me, just in case you now tuned in and you are seeing the flyer on screen, courtesy of the British High Commission, that is the opportunity to get involved with the Chevening Scholarship and to be able to benefit from that. I just remind us again the ability to be able to qualify for and what are the prerequisites.
Sure, thanks for the opportunity. So you must be a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to start. You must have at least 2 years work experience or 2,800 hours, recognizing that not everyone has work experience. You must have completed all the components of an undergraduate degree program and preferably an upper second pass. And most importantly, you must return to Trinidad and Tobago for a minimum of 2 years once you've completed your studies in the UK.
Give us a little further details in terms of the alternative to work experience in terms of hours that you're referring to. What exactly does that mean?
Definitely. So in the Trinidad and Tobago context, we have on-the-job training, we have internships, we take those things into consideration. So like if you have done, 6 weeks at the UN, or if you have done 6 weeks at the THA, we'll take that into consideration because we do recognize that not everyone finds employment after their undergraduate degree.
All right. How many scholars are you looking at supporting in this year out of Trinidad and Tobago for the Evening Scholarship?
So we're looking at 2 scholarships, but we're hoping to increase that through corporate partnerships. So as it stands, it's 2, but maybe more too. So please apply, and that gives us a chance to go for more scholarships.
And tell us about the broader picture, because I always like to put in that global perspective. I know it's 2 in Trinidad and Tobago, but you go throughout the region in terms of offerings?
We do. Actually, it's global.
Yes.
So, for example, just to give you an idea, last year alone, we had 70,000 applications globally. So there's a lot of countries having that opportunity, but it's also about, like we said, giving back.
Yes.
So I think give it a chance, give it the opportunity to apply for a master's degree in UK.
All right. Any additional information you'd like to share with our viewers and listeners about Evening Scholarship and the British High Commission before we close this morning's interview?
Yeah, I would just do a plug to say, check us out today at the library from 9 to 3. Also for further details, we on social media, we on Facebook, British High Commission in Port of Spain on Facebook, UK in the Caribbean on Twitter and on Instagram, so you could find more information there.
All right. And Chanelli, I got to touch you a little bit beyond just what you're going to capture now, giving us a sneak peek, because there seems to be always something coming, a further opportunity with regards to the British High Commission.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the key things that we will be doing come November is 16 days of activism. So look out. I'll be back on Tobago Updates to promote our Ambassadors for a Day. So I'm hoping the Ambassadors for a Day could include also Tobago youth. Yes. So that will be from the age of 11 to 18 years. So more information to follow on that.
All right, excellent. And you're talking to our viewers now. This is your camera in focus. Why is today a must attend to get the information hands-on?
I came from a very humble beginning. I wish I had the opportunity through the UK Evening Scholarship. However, this is your opportunity to pursue a master's degree. This is open to all communities. I really like to see Tobago applications come through. So I look forward to meeting you today at the Scarborough Library from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thank you. And enjoy the Blue Food Festival.
Are you going to be here for the weekend?
No,
Julian. All right. She's just getting a taste. Perhaps you might be able to pass through 1 or 2 of the divisions to get a feel of the competitive element. But we want to say thank you very much indeed for joining us here on set this morning of the British High Commission, speaking about the Evening Scholarship. I want to remind you today at the Scarborough Library. They're there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is your opportunity, folks, to get all the details relevant to proceeding with master's studies and, in fact, postgraduate programs.
Yes.
All right, of 1 year. So certainly it's an opportunity for fully funded. And certainly I like the aspect that you're required to come and give back to Trinidad and Tobago in terms of making your contribution here for the continued growth and development of our island. So thank you very much again for joining us here on set at the Tobago Updates morning show. And viewers, we want to remind you, in fact, I'll have Chanelli and Andre join in. We've got this tagline when we're heading out to breaks. I'll start it off and we actually say it 3 times. We want to remind you, viewers, that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Bad girl from Roxborough to Tobago, but if we go in your day clothes, I rate you. Grew up around good vibes and incense. Grew up in hard times that intense. Shut it as you're reaching at the dance. Use the topic as you're reaching at the dance. My girl, go and drop it as you're reaching at the dance. Making use of your talents when you balance back on the dance. Yes, yes. I know, baby. You want a man who take you serious, not just beat and leave. You're fed up on the streets, yes, yes, I know, baby. You want a man who take you serious.
Mount Pleasant Credit Union Back to School Loan Promotion. Loans up to 15,000. Requirements: job letter and a payslip no more than 1 month old. Utility bill, copy of book list, salary deduction, 10% down payment for self-employed persons, evidence of income and expenditure, bank statement, 12 to 18 months, other supporting document. Promotion ends October 18. Contact us at 639-8375 or 8108 or check us out on www.mpcutobago.com or email us at loans@mpcutobago.com. Mount Pleasant Credit Union's Back to School Loan Promotion.
We are going on a new journey. Tobago now has its very own Carnival.
She like loud music and
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates. I am Adana Kambi, and we continue conversations this morning in studio with our guest. We are speaking with Garth Jacob. He is Divisional Fire Officer in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, and also Roxanne Lewis, Acting Assistant Divisional Fire Officer in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services. Of course, we know we're in the month of October and we're preparing for Tobago Carnival, so we're talking about readiness for Tobago Carnival, and we also want to talk a little bit about Fire Prevention Week as well. So good morning and welcome to the program. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Right. So we want to get straight into the conversation. We know we're preparing for Carnival. We know we have a lot of things that we have to have ready for the road and for all the activities that would lead up to Carnival. So tell us, what is our status, where we are now, what we need to do, and how are things looking?
Well, basically, Adana, the fire service has partnered with other agencies, the police, TEMA, health, and we are preparing for our signature event, which is the Tobago Carnival. I think it's the second time around.
Yes.
And we want to ensure that it's a safe experience for all our revelers and patrons and visitors. And the fire service, just as the others, we are going to pay particular attention to safety, especially where it involves public safety.
Right? I know we had, as you said, you collaborated with all the other agencies, because we spoke with TEMA earlier in the week, and of course they mentioned your partnership. I'm particularly concerned about like crowd control, because I know that's one of your main focus as fire departments, fire service officers, because I know like if you participate in events and stuff like that, your focus is on ensuring crowd control, for crowd safety, for participants safety, to ensure they are safe, there's no stampede, there's access to exit and enter as freely. So tell us a little bit about how that is being managed this year.
Yes, well, for particular events, especially events in enclosure, we would have the responsibility to inspect or do a risk assessment of these venues, determine what the capacity is, and I know it's always the dream of every promoter to fill his or her
That's right, that's right.
But in an effort to keep that as safe as possible as we can, we have to visit the venue to ensure that there's proper access and egress from. The place is well lit, the signage is up. In terms of how they lay out the venue, in terms of where they put their food courts and where they have open flames, where they be used, and it's a phenomenon now. You can't have a fete without fireworks.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And where they set up all these things in relation to where the patrons are. You know, in the past, we would have had a few incidents and some major at that. And we intend to ensure that those things don't occur in Tobago.
Yes, and I think that people don't really, well, the average general public, they don't really understand the importance of the role that you will play in terms of managing that aspect of an event, because it takes a lot. You talk about the layout of the food court, you talk about entrance and exit, you talk about all these different things that go into planning an event and ensuring that the place is properly laid out to ensure safety for the patrons, because this is your role and responsibility, and I believe you take it seriously, right? In terms of for the road, what the road looking like?
Well, I would leave that to Officer Lewis, because she was the one in the inspections.
Right.
Road,
so in addition to what Officer Jacob said, we offer this package. Normally, when the promoters come to us, we offer them this package.
Right.
Right? So inside this package, we have all the guidelines for the trucks, the guidelines for the water trucks, the guidelines for vendors, for everybody on the road this year.
Okay, so they have to follow these guidelines to ensure safety and smooth flow.
Yes.
And is it that they have to go through a process? Is there like, and how do they access the forms? Is it that they apply for it? How does that process
Okay, so we would have left some forms at the Festivals Commission.
Right, okay.
And also when the private promoters come to the fire service, we would give them this package.
Okay, and they ensure they
when
meet
they
all the
apply for their
requirements.
license, yes.
Right, right. Awesome, awesome. And we want to talk a little bit about Fire Prevention Week.
Right.
How is that? What is this? This is Fire Prevention
Right,
Week.
so
right?
Fire Safety Week is normally held around the 9th of October every year. It's annual, it's a worldwide thing. The theme for this year is Cooking Safety Starts With You. Yes. So the week started from the 8th of October to the 14th of October. We started with a church service. And seeing that we're dealing with cooking, we actually made visits to restaurants in the western side of the island, Kong Point in the night. We also did visits around Scarborough. We visited the restaurants and the fast food areas and so forth. When we talk about cooking safety, we're looking at two categories. We're looking at domestic and residential, as well as commercial. So domestic is in your home, and then you have the little pointers for your home. Do not wear these long sleeve clothes. Make sure that your 20-pound cylinders is in a well ventilated area. In the cupboard, if you could put some holes or open the door so that you wouldn't have the buildup of the gas there. When you talk about commercial, We deal with restaurants, hotels, fast food outlets. So we know that some of the outlets, once you storing more than 500 pounds of LPG cylinders, in accordance with the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, you must have a sprinkler system for the LPG cylinders.
Right. And this was, sorry, go ahead.
And the lines must be painted yellow from the cylinders to your stove inside the restaurant.
And what is the purpose for painting it yellow?
Right, so that when in case there's an emergency and a fire breakout and fire service has to come and burst any line or break any line, we would know that we would not interfere with that line because it's yellow, it's painted yellow. Yes.
Okay. And this process took place, you all did this over this week and last week?
Well, this week.
This week primarily?
We went and checked, yes.
Okay. And I suppose in terms of for on the road, the same carnival events is the same kind of...
So we're looking at the vendors. So the other aspect of the commercial with cooking starts with you, we're looking at the vendors. Right. So vendors have a variety of guidelines that we do. We normally team up with health and we give them the guidelines. So the vendors know, and we're stressing it all the time, that they must have their 4.5 kg dry chemical powder extinguisher once you're cooking open flames.
Right.
All right. Vendors also supposed to know that they're cooking at the rear of the tent, and in the front is where you're doing all the serving.
Okay, and when you go on the road, like when the vendors they've applied, they've been accepted, and they set up, is it that you go and do an assessment before the event begins on the road?
Yes, we will do a drive-through of the entire circuit that they do for Carnival, and we'll be checking the vendors to make sure that they comply.
Okay.
Once they're doing open flame cooking.
Yeah, because I mean, it's very important. When we're talking about fire, a fire is something that can catch quite easily. And in as much as we're in the rainy season, it's been a very dry, rainy season.
Yes,
so, of course, we really have to pay attention to this type of activities and the way how we produce things and the way how we set up and we ensure we follow all the guidelines to a T to ensure safety for everybody on the nation's roads, in your homes, as you talk about your domestic cooking, your commercial cooking, and all these types of things. For somebody who is, for the first time, hearing about all of this, like somebody who is a vendor or interested in participating in an event, and they want to set up their little tent somewhere, what is the process or the procedure? How do they get certified or accepted or approved to do something like this?
Well, I know health will deal with that aspect of it because they have to go to health in order to get their food badge.
So the first step is go to health, get your food badge.
Right? And then when health has their lecture, because health would normally have a lecture, the fire service would also be part of that lecture process. They meet with all the vendors. I think the lecture for Blue Food that is coming up on Sunday, that was on Monday.
Right.
So we had our officer present there to inform and educate all the vendors on the various guidelines they must adhere to in order to make sure that everything is safe.
Right, and then when they set up camp, they have a visit again to ensure everything. Because I mean, you could sit in a classroom or you could sit in a lecture or workshop and you could absorb the information. But in terms of the practical aspect, you need to make sure that it's done the way it's supposed to be done for the purpose of safety and stuff like that, right? What are some of the things people need to pay attention to? Let's talk about the home, right? Fire prevention in the home. What are some of the things outside of the cooking gas? What are some of the things people need to pay attention to in their homes to ensure that there's safety, there's a low risk for fire breakouts in their homes?
Right. In terms of your homes, you can also, with your electrical supply, the electricity for your system, every 5 years, you're supposed to have that rewired. If you see it blinking, like by me, I see some blinking going on there, and I have to check that out, So that's one of the areas. Another area is things may occur and the family needs to get out to evacuate from the building. We advise that persons have an evacuation plan for their home. 2 ways out. You have the front door, you have the side door or the back door, and then you have an assembly part, and then you can practice this with yourself and the children to ensure that people understand what they're supposed to do in the event of a fire. You also ask them to keep low to the ground on your way out and close any door behind you. So that will be to restrict the fire spread.
And this is a very important thing because I don't think a lot of people, especially in our culture, pay attention to the fact that we need to do fire drills in our homes because anything could happen and you need to be prepared. Sometimes when these things happen, you tend to panic
Yes.
You tend to panic and you're trying to figure out what to do. Oh my gosh, where to go?
So if you were practicing all the time,
Right.
although you would have that heightened sense of adrenaline, you would remember that you're supposed to stay low and you get out and you make sure and call the fire service 990. Yes?
Yes, awesome, awesome. I mean, I really appreciate this conversation, especially in our homes, because that's where families reside. That's the heart of your society. The home is the heart of your community, the heart of your society. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to pay attention to ensuring that we do these little things. You know, we have the things that we need in place in our homes, and that we try to do a little fire drill. You know, even if it's once a month or once every other month with the children, especially, so they know the route for escape. In closing, is there anything else that you want to share with our listening public as it relates to fire prevention and Carnival? Or anything
Right,
like
so I
that?
just want to make sure and emphasize to the vendors, we are looking at you this year especially. Make sure and have your 4.5 kg dry chemical powder extinguisher. Also, certificates for any elevated structure. We are looking to ensure that you all provide that for us.
Right, and I just want to say to the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, come and enjoy us in Tobago for Carnival. It's going to be a safe, clean, green, serene experience, and I wish them all the best as we go forward in this.
Yes, of course, especially as you said, it's your second year, so you know all the things that you might have missed in the first
we going
first event. Of course,
right
you made up for
this
it
time.
right now in this one. So we want to thank you so much for coming this morning and for sharing all this information with us and for bringing us up to speed and ensuring that we are aware of the practices that we need to put in place in our homes for fire safety and the fact that we're going to be safe for Carnival 2023. We've been speaking with Garth Jacob and Roxanne Lewis from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. We're talking about Carnival Readiness 2023, and we're also talking about fire prevention and fire safety in the home and in the commercial workspaces. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break before we continue our program this morning. And this is your invitation, of course, to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
We in Tobago for Carnival with the award-winning band Fog Angels, Juve and Mass.
You don't know it's your boy Young Brother representing for Fog Angels, Big Bad, Juve and Mass Band.
2 days of excitement, 2 days of jam on the road with Fog Angels, Juve and Mass Band.
Push back, baby. Push back and Fog Angels, baby.
We're Tobago's premium, all-inclusive Juve and Mass Band that consist of costume, free drinks, free food, goodie bags, makeup artist, t-shirt cut designer, pre-party, after-party on the beach, live DJs, biggest artists, 40-foot music trucks, tight security, VIP service on the road, and a decade of experience.
Fog Angels now. Take bamboo, gal. Fog Angels, Juve band. Take bamboo, gal. Ha! Fog Angels, Mass Band.
For your premium all-inclusive packages, check Facebook, Instagram, or visit www.fogangels.com or call 492-9454 or 788-5481. Juve and Mass in Paradise. Play safe, play sexy, play Fog Angels.
Fog Angels make you feel it, feel it.
Slow motion. I know loving gives me fever. I feel like I love you, would I love you, would I love you, would I love you. There's a butt in the ring, sha-la-la-la-la. There's a butt in the ring, sha-la-la-la-la.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is a brunch-style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
But this place is boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Poof. Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Right now, Tobagonians are just scurrying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Yes, so welcome back, and of course, thanks for staying live to Tobago Updates Television. Of course, it's Friday, and it's a sporting Friday here in Tobago and here on Tobago Updates Television. Let me thank Adana for holding on the fort in the first half an hour. In fact, it took 40 minutes, and we're going to take back over 40 minutes because we're talking sports, right? Of course, this morning, we're talking with Phoenix. In fact, we're talking with champions this morning. The Phoenix team, they're going to be up first, and we're going to talk to the Tobago Football Association president about that FA Cup final, where we had like about 10,000 persons at the Dwight York Stadium. So that's going to come later. But for now, on set, we have the head coach of the 1976 FC Phoenix, and we also have the vice captain here with us as well. Let me say good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Right, so Nigel D'Souza, head coach, and Duve Daniel. Of course, once he's Daniel, like destined for greatness in that sense. You know, I'm going to start off with Nigel this morning. Nigel, 3 days on. I mean, how did you guys celebrate that victory?
I mean, we had something small.
Had something small.
By the sponsor,
right.
Which is Root Sports Bar.
Root Sports Bar, yes.
Yeah,
Big up Roots once.
Big up Roots.
Yeah.
We had a nice little celebration. We had fans who came, the players were there, the family and friends. And it was good.
Yeah, fantastic. Nigel, let me say congratulations once again. And for those who probably aren't aware, 1976 FC Phoenix are champions of the Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League Tier 2. And they played unbeaten, winning the title. And of course, you know, Tobago Updates Television will want to get from Nigel and of course Daniel, who is the vice captain here today. I mean, your thoughts on the entire season, culminating on Tuesday with the title.
Challenging, but satisfactory. I mean, we would have put in all the work we needed to. I think we worked hard, both players and staff. We could never go without. I mean, everything goes hand in hand. We worked hard behind the scenes and on the field, and this was just the culmination of all the hard work.
Yeah, and Nigel, I mean, you played against Petit Valley Digo Martin United on Tuesday.
a team you defeated in the league stages. I think was 4-1.
3-1.
Was 3-1 in that game. You know, the final game. I mean, anything can happen in our finals. The winner there would have, of course, walked away with this lovely trophy, and I think a hefty cash amount as well. I mean, goalless at the half, 1-0 down. Right, in terms of those missed chances in the first half, because I was there, you guys missed a lot of chances, I think clear-cut chances, and you should have dominated that game in the first half and probably put the game to rest in the first half, but that's the nature of the sport. What was your halftime message to the team in getting back out there and, of course, you know, performing before the home fans and completing and executing the chances?
Calm and patience. I think we have to remember we also have a young core.
Yeah.
This would have been the first time for a lot of them at this level.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a couple of experienced players, but a lot of our players are below 25. So I just wanted them to remain calm. Yes, we know there's expectations, and especially I've been unbeaten all season. This is not the game we want to lose.
Yes, of course.
So we just wanted to keep. I just tried to preach patience.
Yeah.
Keep calm. We will get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know we have a squad. We have players we could bring off the bench who could change the game. So it was just a matter of managing the game and taking the chances when we get them. I mean, yes, we have played a lot, but we scored the ones we needed to.
Yeah. And Duvet, that first goal, right? I saw you got a hand to it, right? You got like a fingertip. You felt like if you didn't get a hand, that would have gone over?
No, it happened so quick. I didn't even.
So,
I didn't even want to do it.
Yeah, so Duvet is the goalkeeper. Had an outstanding season. I saw you in that semi-final game at Blackrock, where you made some saves in the penalty shootout. I mean, how do you prepare as a goalkeeper for a shootout?
Well, a penalty shootout, you have to use tactics sometimes.
Right.
Well, I just try to get in the player's mind before they kick the penalty.
Like by doing what?
I walk up to them, watch them in the face, laugh.
Right.
You know, tell them, I say, you're going to miss this one,
Yeah.
And just do the job.
Yeah. And people don't really see that because I don't even see that on the field of play. But yeah, it's all kind of, and you learn that from what? Do you have a goalkeeper you follow?
Alison Becker.
Alison Becker.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Right. You support Liverpool?
Yeah.
Nigel, look at it.
I can't after allowing that grease.
Okay. So you made 2 outstanding saves in that semi-final game. Phoenix went on to win the game, and of course in the final. I mean, considering that goal in the final, I mean, what was your mood like after that?
Well, when the goal scored,
it
had a little problems on the field because we didn't want to concede in the second half.
Yeah.
But after that, Nigel made 2 brilliant substitutions and we got the rhythm going and he came back and got the win.
Yeah. And Nigel, tell me about those 2 substitutions you made. You brought on, I think it was Jariel at first and then Adriel George. Those are your go-to players of the bench, like Socia and who again for Manchester, they normally come on late. And Sherinan. Yes.
Well, first, Adriel came on first. Well, we had to make a sub at halftime because Matthews would have gotten injured in the centre back. I thought Nicholas came on and gave us a nice calm in the back as well.
Yeah.
And then
yes.
We brought on. Now listen to me. My philosophy throughout the season, and I think that have helped us. We have a team. I don't ever look at it as well. I have 11 men and then our subs. We have a team. So all those guys would have started throughout the season. So you could call upon them at any time. And obviously Adriel, everybody had different characteristics. And I thought Adriel gave us something different in terms of running off the ball and getting into spaces. And then, I mean, we started with Gemma and Che on the wings. Now they are more dribblers. Arthur now, he have that pass in him. So I thought bringing him on, he obviously will try to find mine. So he play a couple lovely balls over the top. And then that little combination with him and Adriel. So it was just trying to manage it, knowing your players, knowing what they could offer, when they could offer it, and using them to suit.
Yeah. Is this trophy the highlight of your coaching career?
So far, yeah. But we're not stopping there. We're not stopping. No, I mean, I think I've been with Phoenix a while. I've been coaching. I've coached a couple school teams. I mean, I've coached throughout the youth program in Phoenix. I mean, we won Youth Super League and thing before. But at this level, at senior level, I mean, I would have gotten the opportunity to start the coaching senior team last year. We went unbeaten last year, and those two trophies.
Right. So
those two trophies are there as evidence. And then this year going into our next level, obviously this would have been a step up as well for me. The confidence in the guys and my abilities to lead them, and then being able to do it unbeaten. Obviously, it gives you good confidence, but it's tough for you to work harder.
And playing unbeaten in the Tobago Football Association League and no unbeaten in Tier 2, I mean, you think that the team is beyond these these levels of play in terms of Tobago Football Association and Tier 2. You see this young team, playing at a higher level of competition?
Yeah, well, firstly, everything is steps.
Yeah.
This would have been a good step for us in terms of that experience, not only from our coaching staff, but for players as well. And you don't want to miss steps.
Yeah.
I
like that. I like that.
Hurry birds will build good.
Yes, I like that. Yeah.
So we wanted to take that step. Obviously, the goal is to get into the Tier 1.
Yeah.
Tobago have enough talent that we should have a professional team in Tobago. Too many Tobago players had to leave and go Trinidad just to play if they want to do it professionally. So we want to give our players that chance, and by extension, other talented Tobagonians who would like to do that, we want to give them that chance also, but it's steps. And we want to make sure we take the correct steps.
I like that. Before I get back to where do you guys go from here, and in terms of your participation at the higher level, I want to get from Duve. I mean, you seem very, very young. You guys get paid to play?
No, we don't get paid to play.
Right.
We play for the love of the sport.
You play for the love. So your motivation is the love of the sport.
Yeah, the love of the sport.
Right. And in terms of your personal career, where do you want to be as a goalkeeper? You see yourself playing professionally or representing Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, but it all comes with our process. You know. Well, time will tell.
Time will tell. So, and you will forever be a Phoenix player until the time comes where maybe you go on to play for a pro league team, or maybe Phoenix may be in the pro league. Yeah. Nigel, what's the next step for Phoenix? Because the league has ended. I mean, I'm not sure when is the next. When is the start of
the tentative date as of now is November the 18th.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
No, this should have finished
because yes, there are long delays.
But we had the delays, suffered to be so. But we started in November. Now is some rest for everybody, and then we look to preseason again.
Yeah, and what's the process to get into the pro league? Tier 1. What's the process to get in there? Because they didn't have no promotion or demotion for this year's Tier 2. What's the process to get in there? Are they going to have promotion, demotion this time around?
It's supposed to. So this first part was the transition season from Pro League, Super League into Tier 1, Tier 2. So now it restarts. I think Tier 1 restarts in October, and then Tier 2 restarts in November. Hopefully there is promotion, demotion, but there. Obviously, your back room, and when I say back room, your paperwork, your administration needs to be at a certain level, and we have been working hard behind the scenes to ensure that we have those things in place. And then obviously, you speak about paying players, you have to be able to do that at the next level. And it's something we would love to do. I think football is our business. Football is our big business, and these players coming out, they're working hard, and should be able to give them something. Now, that will take sponsorship, partnership, it will take corporate Tobago to get on board. So that is the aim. We have people in the back room who does that and looking at it. My job is to prepare the team on the field. So I leave that up to them.
And shout out to your management team. I mean, you can mention the names of
Huey Cadet, Joel Allen, Lionel Winchester, Shelton Williams, and of course Coach Terry.
Yes, Coach Terry still
around. Everybody pulled their hand. Everybody had a hand in this for the last 2 years, and we have a strong group going forward.
Yeah, and in terms of playing at home in Tobago, I mean, it must have been a hard pill to swallow, not being able to play in front of your home fans in Canaan.
Definitely. Since last year, we played the whole of TFA. We didn't play a game in Cane and Bonaccord. Then this tier 2, the same thing. I mean, obviously difficult. We are grateful for the opportunity to use Blackrock to train and play a couple of games, and then we played at the stadium as well. But yes, we have exhausted our calls to get Cane and Bonaccord field fixed. We were given some assurances that at least one of the fields will be addressed by December. So hopefully that does pull through, and we could start to not only play but train as well, because I mean we have to take players up, carry them to Blackrock, and then bring them back down. And so it's have been a challenge, but hopefully we could get our field back soon.
Yeah, but what have you been told though in terms of when is that timeline to get the feedback? Because in fact, let me say, I also have I'm also a stakeholder with the Cane and Bonaccord Recreation Ground, because my club plays down there, my cricket club plays at that venue, and we haven't been able to use the venue for quite a while. And I mean, when you play in Cane and Bonaccord, whether it's football or cricket, the support is extremely great. I mean, they will cuss you, but they're supporting you. And as you rightfully mentioned, to take up your team and go elsewhere in another community, I mean, it's kind of difficult, but I mean, you still had this support. And just before you wrap up, just a word on yours, on the support that you guys would have had throughout the season, because the stadium was basically packed at the covered stand.
I mean, Phoenix is a well-supported club within the community. And those guys, and when I say guys, I mean fans, supporters, have been throughout, they're following us anywhere we go. And we couldn't ask for more. Even sometimes we argue in Trinidad, you've seen more Phoenix supporters. Yeah, we played UTT, and I sure it had more Phoenix supporters
that's fantastic, man.
So we were grateful, we thankful. Just want to shout out the fans. They were fantastic all day. And they say, you'll get cuss. I know not all the time they are happy with some decisions, but I mean, as a coach, you have to make whatever decision you need to make. But they were great, and they came out Tuesday night and really gave us that push.
Yeah, and as we have, Duvet, before you go, right, your regular captain, he missed the final, Javon Pokemon. I mean, you having him on the field, how confident are you in goal, having Pokemon on the field?
Well, me and Pokemon playing for years. So
right.
We have this kind of chemistry.
Yeah.
But it isn't difficult for me to play with the other players, even though.
Because I know you have some fellas like, you have some Maguire and some teams, no boy. You want them at the defense, no boy, you know, in that way. You know, but Nigel and Duvet, I want to thank you so much for coming here. Congratulations on an excellent season. Big up to Cane and Bonaccord Crown Point. Yeah, I lived there for 20 years, so it's like my second home in a sense, no way. And I'm really proud of you, Nigel, and the youngsters that we were able to pull together. And of course, they made champions out of them. I'm looking forward to see what next for this team. Hoping to see you guys at the highest level, which I can come and support. And you know, when Manchester lose, I have someone else to support in terms of Phoenix in that sense. So
definitely.
Yes, thank you guys so much for being here, and good luck going forward. All right, guys, we have been chatting with Nigel D'Souza, head coach of FC Phoenix, and Duvet Daniel, vice captain of the Phoenix team, victorious at the Trinidad and Tobago Premier League Tier 2. And of course, they are here this morning sharing, the success of their season. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be chatting with the president of the Tobago Football Association, Mr. Everton Alfred. So don't go away. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Wait, I don't even have suit and thing for this wedding. Why getting them things?
Well, the port mall right over there.
Alright, thanks.
The Port Mall, where the varieties are large from your favorite stores, from restaurants to salons and from clothing stores to jewelry stores, located at Sanctus Hill, Scarborough, Tobago. Telephone number is 868-334-6589.
Wow. I didn't expect to see you here. Look good.
Thanks. It's all because of you and Port Mall. But here now, I'm going to have with you. You want to join me?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
Beat the rush and come on down to the Port Mall.
know she my blazer sharp like a razor.
I'm gonna be in Tobago.
Tobago Carnival.
Last lap, October 30th.
October 30th for last lap.
Yeah, my boy gonna be representing Jamaica. Barbados. From the Bahamas.
We're going on a Grenada inside that Tobago. We coming.
Are you looking for a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include doctor visitations, social activities, geriatric care, and much more. Contact us at 277-9595 or visit us at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors. At Heavenly Care, compassion is at the heart of all care.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey guys, welcome back, and of course, thank you so much for staying with us here on Tobago Updates Television. It's a sporting morning here in Tobago and here on this wonderful station, your station for sport. And of course, we just had a conversation there with the guys from FC Phoenix, and we're still talking football. I have with me a good friend, the president of the Tobago Football Association, Mr. Kenny Alfred. Some know him as Everton, but we're going to call him Mr. Alfred this morning. All right, Mr. Alfred, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Marcus.
Yes,
thanks for having me.
I expected you to be in your TFA blazer ending this morning.
No, we're still on the field, so I'm going to leave the blazer for later.
I mean, wonderful FA Cup finals last weekend. I mean, over 2,000 persons. I mean, some may say more than 2,000. The entire covered stand
was filled.
Ram out.
And I want to start off by saying thanks to all those supporters that came out. It was really nice to see that the sport is growing on the island. The success of the two teams, I guess, would have played a part, as well as, of course, our promotion efforts. So a lot of thanks has to go to that event, and hopefully the sport will grow. Of course, I also need to offer my congratulations to FC Phoenix on their achievement as well.
Fantastic,
So it says that we're heading in the right direction in Tobago.
And I mean, the first FA Cup final since we had this dreaded COVID, right? I mean, 14 goals in total scored. I mean, the first game we had 7-1. That's Georgia beating
Golden
Lane 7-1, and then we had a 3-3 situation, and then we went to penalties. Only $40 to get in.
Very comfortable price for the patrons. I don't think we had any complaints about that.
Entertainment.
And of course, they enjoyed the entertainment. And of course, there were events within the event for the spectators. So we had the kickoff, and that was really well appreciated by the fans. It was nice to hear the response when the ball hit the back of the net, and when it didn't as well. So the fans know that they have something to look forward to. They have to up their game when they come into the park.
And I know you are perfectionists. I mean, your thoughts on the whole package in terms of the finals. Could it have gone any better for you?
There's always room for improvement in whatever we do. We have to be very honest. Those are little minor things that I don't think people would be aware of it in terms of organizing an event such as football. Because I want to believe that the real improvement for me this year has really been off the field, which will reflect on the field eventually.
I must say that.
I think that the effort by some of these clubs was really nice. During the season, we'd have been sharing videos in terms of how you need to organize your change room, preparing your players, getting your players to venue on time, so that they can now mentally be ready when they walk out onto the field. So for me, the success really has been off the field, and it is reflecting on the field for some of these clubs, because you're really seeing it in the organization. But it is a work in progress. It is a work in progress.
And I totally agree with you in terms of the off-the-field administrative stuff, because I've seen an increase in terms of population of social media, in terms of populating social media with content for Tobago Football Association. And
of course, we have to share the information, and that has been fantastic. And I really need to express my thanks and support for that lady who's seeing about our social media aspect.
Yeah.
Miss Avian Park. She's doing a fantastic job. I have to say thanks to her and much blessings. I hope she stays with us.
Yeah, and that actually trickled down to some of the clubs as well, because regularly I would see sideys post stuff, Plymouth Stokeley Vale, you know, and that's really outstanding.
Yeah, and I would like to encourage all the other clubs to establish a Facebook account. Let your community know what you're doing. Not just the results of your game. You need to get involved with your community, because that is where you're going to build your support base. That is where you're going to get the youngsters within your community to now feel happy to now join your club. Because one of the things that we want to embark on next year is youth programs.
Yes.
You know, we continue to work on developing coaches on the island, and I guess we'll speak about that a little later.
Yeah.
But it's all in a part of a process that involves the development of the Tobago players. And hopefully we get them on the world stage.
And a final word on the FA Cup. Best FA Cup finals for you?
I still want to go back to the first FA Cup finals that we ever had at the White York Stadium. I think that was Charlottesville versus Sinclair's Coaching School.
I was at that final.
That was still stands up.
Yes.
But this one was really good, very competitive, keen interest, and when you have teams coming back after going 2 goals down, demonstrates that they have some character, you know, within the club, and I think that's one of the reasons why they eventually prevailed, because they have that. I mean, that goalkeeper that came on, a young man, inspiration to the community.
Jonathan Thomas.
Yeah, he did really well, because he brought off a couple of saves before we even got into the penalty kick. So really nice.
And in terms of the injury, I mean, you never want to see that on a football field. You know, a player going down in that manner. Have you had any word from the club?
Well, yeah, I was at the hospital after 1 a.m. that morning, because I mean, my position is that I have to. All the clubs are my clubs, you know, and the players as well. So I was at the hospital, had dialogue with his mom, trying to console and encourage her. So the young man is out of the hospital and he's doing fairly well, but there's still some work to be done. Trying to get some more information on the history of that incident, and hopefully we'll make sure he's okay.
Yeah, and I want to shout out the first responders there in terms of the players on the field of play. The sideways player rushed his aid, and all the other players that would have played their part. I mean, Mommy left the stands and she came down. I mean, a mother's love, eh?
You can't stop that. You can't stop that. She was on the field.
Yeah, so I wish him a speedy recovery. In terms of the league now, because I saw league matches would have resumed. Tell me about the current standings and where we are at with the league.
All right, so we've entered the second round of the conference stages. We started immediately after the FA Cup final. It's business as usual. And we have had about 5 games thus far in both the Eastern and Central conferences. So the standings now would reflect in the Eastern Conference. I think Georgia, they have leapfrogged Sidees by 3 points. They are followed closely by Belgarden.
And they play the same amount of games, Georgia and Sidees?
No, Georgia and Sidees, they have both played 6 games. Belgarden and Gold City are following next, but they are both on 10 points, having played 7 games each. So clearly we have a little competition in there. Roxborough is now, they would have just recently won their first game in the season. They would have been drawing all the other games. So they are also in contention. So we're seeing that there's some interest in Eastern Conference in terms of the standings. Then when you go to the Central Conference, then you have Stokeley Vale leading 13 points. They are slightly ahead of Signal Hill United, having played a game less. That is Stokeley Vale. Bertil Sinclair Sports Academy, which I think is one of the surprises for this season.
Right, that's a youngsters.
You know, a very young club, and it shows the quality of the experience of Bertil Sinclair as he continues to work with those lads.
Fantastic.
So they're in 3rd position, followed by Leeds from Wim, that evergreen team that will always be there.
Leeds United.
And then when you go to the Western Conference, Carnival Mount Pleasant, they are leading from Eagles, another new club, a very young club, very vibrant.
Out of Scarborough IC team.
Yeah, that's Scarborough IC team. And then you have Bethel and the Phoenix B team making up the top 4. So what is going to happen in this conference is that we're going to have the top 2 teams from each conference qualifying automatically, and the 2 best 3rd place teams joining them.
That's for the Big 8.
For the Big 8, and then in the Big 8 we're gonna have 2 groups of 4. Because last year when we played a straight knockout, we felt it wasn't enough football for the youngsters because we need to have people playing. So what we're gonna do, have them in 2 groups of 4. They play each other, and then the top 2 teams would advance to the knockout phase.
So how do you divide the groups? How are you going to divide the groups?
So we're gonna have a draw. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 3 pools. You're going to have 3 winners, of course, 3 second place teams.
Right.
So we're going to have a draw. So you would end up with, in one pool, 2 winners.
Right.
And then in the next pool, you'll have 2 second place teams. And you then have 1 third place.
And at no time, 2 teams in a group that were in a group, they
wouldn't meet. They wouldn't meet in that
okay. But they may meet in semi-finals or final.
Well, of course, if you qualify, you go forward.
Yeah. And when are you looking to complete the season?
We're looking at December. I think it's the 15th or 16th, somewhere there.
Right.
Which is around the same time we finished last year.
And it's going to culminate in another finals at the Dwight York Stadium.
Another finals at the Dwight York Stadium. So fans have something to look forward to. And most of those big games will be at the stadium as well.
Yeah.
Weather and all conditions permitted.
Yeah, and persons interested in getting to see the matches, what days are you having matches and time?
Well, we generally play on a Sunday, Wednesday, and a Friday.
Yeah.
Of course, we're sharing now with colleges the days and the number of officials that we have on the island. So those are our match days. When we have little challenges, for example, this weekend we have blue food.
Oh, yes.
Then we have to now accommodate. So we're playing 1 game on a Monday.
Right.
Just to make up, because that's really the rest day for the referees.
Yes.
So we're going to play on a Monday 1 game to try to facilitate those guys who want to go across to blue food, because we can't, for example, have Castara playing.
Because I know you want to go blue food too. You're going to blue food as well.
Yeah, well, the whole place is blue. You know, so that we have to support.
Yes, of course.
You have to support, of course.
Yeah, like that one.
So you have to do that.
Yeah, and before we go, Mr. Alfred, right, I know Candice and they with him for Good Morning Tobago. I can't let you go without talking about, because I know Mr. Alvin Cornell, he's on the island.
Anton
Cornell, sorry. Technical director of TTFA, and he treats with coaching. Tell me about the coaching course that we currently experience.
So that, and I want to go back to the start. When we took up office, our mantra was development as one thing. So what we have is the second group of coaches on the island who are now engaged in the C license coaching course. I think we have 16 or 17 individuals, including 1 female, and I'm happy to say that.
Right, that's good.
The coaching program. Last year, I think we had about 21 or 22 individuals who completed their program.
Really good.
So what we're doing, we're expanding the network of coaches that can service Tobago as an island. Later on this year, we intend to have a B license coaching course. So we're going to upgrade on the guys who did the program last year. So what we're really trying to do is to develop that network of coaches who can now service the island and hopefully service Tobago. Because I'll tell you this, one of our plans is to next year have Tobago teams at youth and senior involved in games, because the jump from Club Tobago to getting onto the national team is a little steep. So we need to bridge that gap, and in that light, we want to encourage Corporate Tobago and Trinidad to get involved and back us. And let me also say before we go, we need to also encourage our youngsters to get involved in officiating. Because we really need referees on the island. It's something that I started a discussion with the Assistant Secretary for Sports. He's also concerned about that area. So hopefully within the next month or 2, you will see a rollout of a proposal, not just for football. But we're looking at other sports, including cricket. Yeah, to get some more officials, because we need them in all facets, all sporting engagement. So that's really what we have working in behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, the time is never enough when we chat, Mr. Alfred, but I gotta leave it there this morning. I want to thank you so much for coming through, and congratulations once again on hosting our wonderful FA Cup finals. And I'm looking for the end of the league football. And of course, once again, congratulations to Stokeley Vale and Sides for getting to the finals, but Stokeley Vale, of course, for winning it. Once again, congratulations to FC Phoenix. Yeah, my team. We're doing better than Manchester United these days, but let me say thank you so much for joining us this morning. And of course, the sporting segment of Tobago Updates Television. I'm going to throw you over to Candice Jackson. And of course, I think she has some more sports for you guys this morning, you know. Yeah, so don't forget to share the live, and stay tuned. See you again next week.
Sargassum's female body oil left my hands soft and moisturized, and I couldn't help but enjoy its lovely fragrance. It's infused with the Sargassum seaweed that's harvested from Hope Bay by Jenica Mayers. She, along with her business partner, launched Sargassum products at the end of August, thanks to their participation in the IDB's Blue Economy competition.
We were really happy to pitch the idea of producing spa products out of Sargassum. When you harvest it at sea in its purest form and it's properly treated, that's when you can extract the goodness from it. Sargassum has been proven to be antifungal, it's antibacterial, antioxidant, and according to the scientists, there are some anti-aging features in there. So this little piece of the seaweed that you see here that looks like a nuisance on the shore, it has tremendous medicinal and nutritional benefits to us as humans. Thanks to the IDB, we were able to secure that financing to be able to go from just the ideation to the creation. Without that money, I think it would have taken us a lot longer to get to this stage because we would have had to find the capital or take it out of our pockets to get here. It's been great, being part of that cohort and learning from the other persons, the other grantees who were selected, who were doing very different projects. We were able to brainstorm with each other, find solutions together, also, of course, being guided by the IDB team, who are project management professionals, who were able to really help us focus on our objectives. And we're happy that at the end of the day, we actually have a product to show for it. IDB has been like an angel investor, let's put it that way. They came at just the right time, and so even their concept of giving grants to not just businesses but NGOs, anybody who had a great idea, I think that was fantastic of them, and they really provided that technical support to make sure that we went beyond the idea.
If you're interested in the Sargassum products, contact the company via Instagram and Facebook at Sargassum. Email tobagojellypeddy@gmail.com or call 762-0266.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Political leader of the Unity of the People, Nkosi Phillips, accused Tobago East MP Ayanna Webster-Roy of making false statements in Parliament. Webster-Roy boasted that the central government had stationed interceptors in Tobago for use by the TNT Coast Guard. However, Phillips pointed out that the interceptor has not been operational for several years. Whenever an incident occurs in Tobago, Phillips says Coast Guard officers on the island have to either wait for a vessel to come from Trinidad or commandeer a vessel from fishermen or other mariners. According to Phillips, Webster-Roy is out of touch with what is happening in Tobago. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley expressed concern about a significant cache of heavy firearms seized by the police in Santa Cruz, stating that it posed a threat to the state of Trinidad and Tobago. He was speaking during his contribution to the budget debate in Parliament. The weapons included AR-15s, M16s, mini Uzis, 50 caliber rifles, 20 gauge shotguns, and various other types of ammunition. He emphasized that these weapons were a threat to the nation and called for unity in opposing those who would harm Trinidad and Tobago with such arms. Rowley also criticized easy bail for drug manufacturers and called for a national effort against crime. And finally, the Court of Appeal ruled in the favor of former Chief Magistrate Marcia Caesar, declaring that she was coerced into resigning as a High Court judge in 2017 by the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, the JLC. The court deemed her resignation illegally obtained and ordered it to be expunged from the president's records. The JLC had pressured Caesar to withdraw from the High Court bench and return to the magistrate. The court found this pressure amounted to legal conduct and forced her out of office. Compensation for breach of her constituents' rights will be addressed in the High Court by a High Court judge. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds. And viewers, we're jumping straight into our conversations this morning because we are being joined now by Mr. Anselm Richards, who is a technical advisor to the Chief Secretary out of the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy. So a special good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Richards. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me, and thank you, Tobago, and Trinidad and Tobago, wherever in the world we may find ourselves as Trinidadians and Tobagonians.
Great. Now, the topic for this morning, actually what we're discussing this morning, is what's been going on with the Registrar's office here in Tobago, because we are getting news that it's been shut down.
Well, I have received the same type of information that the services of the office have been suspended, and I use suspended guardedly. And my investigation revealed that the Tobago operation was locked out from the central system of the Registrar General office by the Registrar General, Ms. Karen Bridgewater, because of some kind of internal administrative disagreement. I think that amounts to an abuse of authority and misbehavior in public. No public officer has the right or any entitlement to deny the public of any service, because that is what it is called, public service. And these services are paid by the tax dollars of Tobagonians and Trinidadians, and no single individual has any constitutional right or authority to conduct him or herself in the manner in which this matter has evolved. And therefore, I think it is fitting for Tobagonians and our leaders in Tobago to move with dispatch and call upon the Prime Minister and the Attorney General, under whose remit this office falls, to ensure that the services is immediately reinstalled to the Tobago office, so that Tobagonians can have access to their birth certificate, their death certificate, their company register records to conduct legitimate business. And following to that, I think that the Judicial and Legal Service Commission should be contacted or notified to institute the necessary disciplinary action against the Registrar General of Trinidad and Tobago. This cannot be allowed to go unattended to, because what it will do, it will set a precedent for any other senior public officers to feel that they can unilaterally cut off any service from Tobago. This reminds me, Candice, of what is happening in Israel and Gaza, you know. This is a kind of occupational kind of conduct, you know, when you have the authority to shut off water or you have the authority to shut off electricity. It is akin to that. And it's frightening in a modern society that a single public officer can degenerate her conduct to this level. And therefore, it is extremely important that the Prime Minister and the Attorney General look at this matter for what it presents and ensure that all the legal and administrative requirements are had where this errant public officer is concerned.
Have you been in conversation with the Attorney General's office at all as to what's been going on to try to get some clarity or to try to get some relief to the situation?
Well, I am not, that is not in my jurisdiction, but I did have conversation with the Chief Secretary, who is actively and deliberately pursuing this matter. And I think probably later today we may be able to have a very profound reaction from the administration in Tobago on this matter. So that is being attended to at that level of the island, at the level of the Chief Secretary. That is where his remit starts. He has that kind of authority under the law to have these kinds of conversation with the Prime Minister under Section 31 of the THA Act to ensure there is a harmonious relationship for the good governance of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is certainly a matter that requires that legal provision to be activated. And I know that the Chief Secretary is acting actively on those matters.
And how long has this been happening? Is it just this week or has it extended past this week?
It seems that it had been happening a few days, but it really got escalated yesterday, and the public start feeling the brunt of this illegal conduct by the Registrar General. We have situation where the staff has to return to the old handwritten death certificate so that people can get those documents to execute the last rites to their loved ones. And that is definitely unacceptable by any standard. And therefore, we as Tobagonian, and I think our two parliamentary representatives should have condemned this kind of conduct during the budget debate. I have learned that, and I am reviewing it, that the member for Tobago East, under whose probably executive authority the office of the Registrar General of Tobago falls, has been in the media trying to explain this thing away, which I think if you are representing people and you have an errant public officer in Trinidad that is denying your constituents access to their legitimate services, then you have a duty of care to ensure that this is terminated or is stopped immediately. And to come in the media and trying to apologize on that, I am not the kind of person to take that kindly. And I see that as a dereliction of duty on the part of the parliamentary representative of Tobago East and West. Definitely, we need persons who can stand up in the national parliament and speak to this issue without fear, favor, or malice or ill will.
And have you been able to speak or have any conversations with any of the workers for them to give you a perspective of what's been going on their side of things?
Well, I have had conversation. I did my research. I did my investigations into this matter. I have very intimate details as to what is causing this issue, but I would not want to put it in the public space. I think that I have advised the Chief Secretary on this matter, and I think I have to give room for the Chief Secretary to take charge on matters like these.
All right, now moving on to the other topic for this morning, and that has to do with the minimum wage increase. Now, how has the THA been treating with this issue? Because, I mean, we'll have to prepare for it. It's going to be a law from January. It's going to take effect from January 1st. What is being put in place to treat with some of the changes that may happen as a result of a minimum wage increase?
Right, so this issue has two sides to it. So let us speak firstly from the issue of the wage increase to the workers of the THA. I think all of us will recall that when this administration came into office, there's a clear policy statement that they're going towards a living wage, which is much superior than a minimum wage. And in that journey, they moved with dispatch and increased the wages of the lowest paid workers in the THA, which is namely CPEP and URP workers, and they have brought that up to the daily pay rates. So most of our workers in the THA, are working for the minimum wage and above, the new minimum wage and above, which is $20.50. They have already been enjoying that kind of luxury or that kind of improved economic and socioeconomic improvement since last year. And that has really impacted the resources of the THA in a significant way. So that is something, and I think what we have seen that have moved, because if you go back to the budget, you will see that we got $18 million to fund URP and $8 or $9 million to fund CPEP. Yeah. Those allocations cannot even run those two programs for a quarter. The THA annually subsidized those programs to the tune of nearly $100 million to keep Tobagonians employed and to put food and services on the table and in homes and families in Tobago. So that is the kind of sacrifice and the kind of progressive policy decision this administration has made since it came into office. So Tobagonians need to take note of that. On the other side of this issue of the minimum wage that is likely to impact the THA is on the side of the provision of services to the THA by service providers. Now, some of the key services that is contracted by the THA by certain service providers attracts the minimum wage. For instance, security services and janitorial services. Those are probably the two I can speak to with some level of preciseness. And what will happen in those cases is the cost of those services will be prorated by the minimum wage and what we call a margin or a markup for the company to make its profit and so forth, and to pay for consumables in the case of the janitorial services. And then there's a kind of variation in the security area of that, where if you take an armed guard or a baton guard and that kind of dynamics. So what we are projecting there, and we have been looking at this issue, is that those services that is very significant in the THA expenditure profile is likely to see some kind of increase in the cost of the provision of those services by the service provider, because it will change the cost equation for those service provider, and naturally I think they will want to pass it down to the customer, and therefore we are programming that to see how that will impact on our resources going forward.
And is there going to be any decisions where you may have to move money around to fund the CPEP and URP program, because we know that, I mean, the budget that was presented is way less than what is needed to cover the wages and so on for those programs?
Well, the issue of CPEP, funding CPEP and URP has always been a financial dance for previous and the current administration. And it speaks to your ability to do what we probably call fiscal and financial gymnastics. And if you understand how this thing operates, and this is that you cannot fund CPEP and URP from current allocation, because the way the chart of account for the country is set up and the financial rules and regulations. So you cannot take monies from this current year's allocation and put it to fund a program like CPEP and URP. So it means, therefore, in the previous year, we have to do the kind of fiscal dance and the fiscal maneuvering to ensure that we carve out that kind of fiscal and financial space to ensure that we can keep this food alive and keep Tobagonians on the job, keep them working, keep food on the tables, keep books and snacks in the lunch bags of Tobagonians as we go forward. So that is something that the Chief Secretary have been leading with a level of precision. And I can say without fear of contradiction that he has done that well. And this year I can say that the resources to ensure that CPEP and URP is kept alive has already been, quote unquote, accounted for.
All right, great. When we're looking forward to seeing more of that, especially after the Assembly goes in, or the Executive Council, I should say, goes into their retreat to reprioritize the budget and so on in the next few weeks.
Well, definitely the Chief Secretary and the Secretary of Finance will come back to Tobagonians and give a very detailed report as to what is likely to happen given our resources and what kinds of strategy we have to deploy and what kind of support the administration will require from Tobagonians going forward in this very projected financially and fiscal challenging period for us, given the resources that was allocated to the Assembly for fiscal 2024. So definitely this is not an exclusive THA matter. It will require all of us as Tobagonians coming together and understanding the tasks that face us and what we all need to do to ensure that we execute this task with the kind of resolve and determination that is required to move this island forward.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mr. Richards, for being us and for giving us your perspective on those matters this morning. All right, viewers, well, we are moving away from politics, and I mean, it's Friday, so we're just going to relax a little bit and have a little fun, because we are talking I Love Soca this morning and a very special event that's going to be coming up pretty soon that you need to get connected with. So I am being joined right now by Mr. David Maraj, and you know him as the owner and the operator of Barcode in Scarborough, as well as the start of the one who pioneered the I Love Soca series. So a special good morning and welcome to you. How are you doing this morning?
Morning. Thanks for having me, Candice.
Great. So first of all, we're having David Rudder going to be here on October 22nd for a special I Love Soca concert.
Right, so the 22nd of October every year is Barcode Day. And what that means for us is that everything that Barcode does for the 1 year period, we smash it all into one day, which includes Pig Out, Shilling Party, and of course the ever popular I Love Soca series. So this year, it falls on a Sunday, and our I Love Soca segment is in the form of a concert. And it takes place on Sunday, the 22nd of October at 4 p.m. at Shore Park. And the feature act would be David Rudder and his full band. And he has a lot of supporting guest artists as well. Adana, our local songstress, Duvon Stewart on pan, Gerard Balfour, MX Prime, Second Star, and Irfan Alves, just to name a few. We have a tightly packed, well put together choreographed show that will start promptly at 4 p.m. and end at approximately 7.
All right, great. And it's certainly looking forward to be something that nobody has to miss. And I remember in February, we had David Rodder here as well. In fact, you had David Rodder here as well. And I mean, tell me about how that went and how did that lead to the event on October 22nd being centered around him?
Oh, that's a great question. So the I Love Soca voice concert took place in January with the I Love Soca series that we do annually. And we chose to implement a different era of soca music. And we chose to combine that show and bring David Rodder on board. And that's what prompted and led to this event. This event was originally supposed to be held in May for his birthday. And he had a big show in Trinidad for his 70th birthday that was heralded to be his last. But this show was already planned, and we moved the date to accommodate him, and we chose to do it on Barcode Day. This year in particular, Barcode Day falls strategically because of the start of the Carnival. So it officially announced the start of the Carnival period, right? And I'd like to take this time to also say that there's a major production taking place at Shore Park on the Friday before the show that T-Pack is putting on with Calypso Rose. It's called the Queen of the Road. So we are heralding this weekend as the Weekend of Legends. So you got a lot of activity happening for the Tobago Carnival, and I Love Soca has been a big part of the start of that activity.
And tell me, how is Mr. Rodder doing? Because we know that we've been concerned about his health, especially over the past year. How has he been doing?
He's fine. He's absolutely fine. He's traveling at the moment, and he's been doing a lot of activities, but he has scaled down his calendar as to how many activities he is doing and the size of them. So this is probably going to be this is definitely going to be one of his last big shows, probably his last big show in Tobago. I wouldn't say it's his last, but it's definitely his last show on this scale. So it's a must-see event. It's a must-see event. I urge everyone to grab their tickets. Don't wait to come to the door because it's going to be more. Grab those tickets quickly. There are lots of tickets outlets all over Tobago and online as well. And you know, we look at things, and if you had a chance to go and see Blacks today, what would you do? Would you pay $1,000 for that ticket? I would, definitely. So let's not waste these opportunities. Let's make the most of them. It's a Sunday, it's 4 o'clock. You have time to go to church, get up in the morning, see about your house, cook your food. Or you could choose to come down to the food hub, come down to Comfort Inn. You know, they have lots of people who are partnering with the show that are doing packages, pre-entertainment. And you can go to a show at 4 o'clock in the day comfortably and be back home by 9. You ain't missing a beat. Ready for work.
What was the strategy of setting the time for the show at 4?
We listen to our customers. The last time that David Rodder came here for the I Love Soca with Voice in Shore Park, it was a traditionally 11:30 p.m. start for I Love Soca. And a lot of the more mature customers saying, boy, why a Tuesday? Why so late? You know, so we listen to the customers and we seize the opportunity to do something a little different in Shore Park by having the show at that time. It's going to start promptly at 4 with the national anthem being done on pan by Gerard Balfour. So we urging customers and clients to come out. At the doors open at 2:30. Get there, get seated. Oh, and I must say, this is going to be a first for Shore Park as well. You are going to be allowed to consume liquid. You are going to be allowed to consume liquid on the floor space in front of the stage that can easily accommodate 600 persons. So there's going to be a bar down there. And this is the first of its kind being done at Shore Park. It's a hybrid event where in the seated area, there will be no consumption as per the rules of Shore Park. But on the floor space, you will be allowed to consume on the floor space. So you have a hybrid between a concert and a party. You're very welcome to take your seat, or you can go down in the front and express yourself. You know, I really believe everybody's going to end up down in the front of the show.
I mean, it is David Rudder. I mean, he is certainly one of our stalwarts when it comes to both calypso and soca, and he's done so much. So it would be a privilege to see him. Like I said, it might be one of his last. So
well, definitely, he is very excited about the show. He has been. He definitely wants to do this show to make sure that Tobago gets a final chance. Because Trinidad show was heralded to be his last, but we're not going to call anything. But this is his last show of this nature and this size in Tobago.
And with his full band.
With his full band, and I must say we have some key people in that band as well. We have Duvon Stewart as the panist, who is celebrating 40 years as a panist, and he's one of the most accoladed persons in terms of pan, and he is Tobagonian. And we also have quite a few seasoned band members, Tamba Gwindi, Kenneth Batiste, just to name a few. So it's going to be a great musical production of David Rudder.
And how can people get tickets?
Tickets are available at many ticket outlets: Viewport Supermarket, Barcode, Jade Monkey, I believe Pablo Supermarket in the East Bay Fashions. It's also available online at WeTix and e-ticket, Island e-tickets. So tickets are going pretty well. The response has been good. The traction is good. And we anticipate a full house and a great time.
Certainly. I mean, once it's David Rudder, you're going to have a good time.
Definitely.
And of course, once it's part of the I Love Soca concert series. I mean, we're all used to it by now. And I mean, we're used to it in Barcode, but just take that energy and we're going to put it on a bigger scale.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Mirage, for being on with us. And we're looking forward to seeing, I mean, is this going to be the start of annual concerts like this on October 2nd, or is this just a one-off thing?
No, but definitely in the National Carnival period for 2024, we've already set our first show at the 2nd of January, which will be held at Barcode. This year, we also expanded. We did a few other elements where we did a road show. We did another show at our next location. And we have found ways to become a little more diverse and to spread it. So, yeah, you can look forward to a few more big concerts under the label.
Great. Certainly. And I want to thank you again so much for being on with us.
Thank you.
We are looking forward for the I Love Soca with David Rudder headlining.
Thank you.
All right, great. Viewers, we're going to take a quick break, so please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong.
We are going on a new journey. Tobago now has its very own Carnival.
She like loud music and platinum touch.
Yeah. 25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is a brunch-style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
You
Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Tapicom. Welcome to the future. The only card you will need in a new world. Digital business cards. Safe, hassle-free. The future is here. Tapicom. New generation digital transfer. Digital time clock cards. Digital attendance cards. Air tags. Customized designs. Digital clothing tags. Digital pet tags. Tapicom. The future is here. Contact us today.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the sky.
Joined by Mr. Jamal Lewis, who is the PRO of Eastern Credit Union, as we're going to be talking about some special offers they have in store for you. So a special good morning and welcome to you.
Pleasant good morning, Candace. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, and good morning to Tobago.
All right, great. So first of all, what is this special loan that you have, and it's in time for Carnival?
It's in time for Carnival. What we have done at Eastern Credit Union, we have created a loan for the masqueraders. This one is for the masqueraders, the fetters, the party animals, as we call them. It's Eastern Credit Union's Carnival Jumpstart Loan. So as Tobago Carnival is right around the corner, that is on October 27th to 29th, we have prepared a package to take care for all your carnival needs, whether it be costume purchases, ground transport, hotel accommodation. And this promotion runs from, it started in mid-September and it's running until December 29th, 2023. So it also caters for Trinidadians that want to come across to Tobago and also for those Tobagonians who want to go across next year for the Mecca of Carnival in Trinidad.
And you know how big would this loan be? What are the interest rates going to be like?
So at Eastern Credit Union, of course, we have some of the most competitive interest rates out there. And what we have done with this particular promotion is that we have stretched out the repayment period. So you have a repayment period of up to 36 months. Now, the lowest this loan could start for is $2,500, and it could go up to $30,000 or 5 times your shares.
Wow.
And you have 36 months to repay. That way we could have some lower interest rates. You'll have some lower repayments so that you could stretch it out for the entire period.
So if I got it correctly from what you're saying, you have to have your shares within the credit union to be able to apply for the loans.
Of course. And if it is you taking this loan and you're not a member of Eastern Credit Union, we make it very easy for you to become a member. To become a member of Eastern Credit Union, all you need to do is produce 2 forms of ID, $120 cash, a utility bill, and a job letter and payslip. Now, for those persons who aren't or who are self-employed, we also cater to those persons, as of course they won't have job letters and things, but all they will have to have is their statements, their cash flow statements. And even if they don't have that, our good friends at the Tobago branch will be there to assist you in preparing those documents, setting you on the right track to acquire this loan. What normally, if you're taking a loan at Eastern Credit Union for this type of purpose, you will actually have to wait 1 month before you could apply for this loan. During this Carnival Jumpstart Loan promotion, as you see on the flyer there, we have actually waived that entire period. So you can become a member today and apply for that loan tomorrow, please God.
Wow. So, I mean, you're making it so easy to get people just...
Yes, so that's what we're about here at Eastern Credit Union. We're all about ease of access, and we also have some goodies with this promotion. Now, with this promotion, once you have taken this Carnival Jumpstart Loan at Eastern Credit Union, you actually have the chance to win a free costume from Iconic Mass for their section, Buku Reef. And that is for both male and female. So once you apply for the loan, we will be drawing this competition on the 18th, that is next week, Wednesday. And so someone has the opportunity to win the costume from Buku Reef and also a Juve package.
Now you say the approvals can be, you'll get the approvals really quickly.
Yes.
Like what's the time frame?
Maximum 48 hours. Maximum of 48 hours. So of course, with these type of procedures, once everything is in place, all checks and balances are there, it will go through faster. But of course, we need to make sure that our members have the ability to repay and that we're not putting you under any due financial strain. So we'll go through that process. And once everything is as is, 48 hours maximum.
Mm-hmm. And then what about, promotions coming up for Christmas?
Of course.
And all those other things that are
Yes, we
right
have a lot
around
of
the
goodies
corner.
in store. What we try to do with Eastern Credit Union, of course, we are primarily based in Trinidad, but of course, we have our branch located here at number 203 Milford Road. So what we try to do is not to have the Tobagonians feel left out. That's why all during the year, we've had a lot of activities, and that continues as we end off the year.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up after, we have on November the 11th, we have our 12th annual Diabetes Walk. Diabetes awareness is Eastern Credit Union's corporate social responsibility. So we have that coming up on the 11th of November. The following week, we actually have our children's Christmas party that is going to be in Shore Park, Tobago. So Tobagonians can feel a part of this. We actually only have a diabetes walk in Tobago. We don't have that in Trinidad at all. So that is something, again, that is dedicated to the Tobagonians. And of course, for this information and all other information that you want to get on Eastern Credit Union, you can be sure to check out our very active social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can visit our website at www.ecunewexperience.com or call our call center at 800-4ECU. That is 800-4328. Just kind of rattle that off there for you.
Certainly. And I'm wondering if when we call those numbers, we're going to get such a nice response.
What we pride ourselves on at Eastern Credit Union is the customer experience. And that's what we want. Everyone is family. You're a member, you're a part owner of Eastern Credit Union, and therefore we treat you that way.
And so going back to the Carnival loan.
Yes.
What's the cutoff date for being able to apply for it?
No, remember this loan promotion runs until December 29, 2023. So it also caters for persons who would like to take this facility for Trinidad Carnival. So that's running until December 29th. But of course, if you want to get in on the action for Tobago Carnival, you need to visit our branches, or you can even apply for the loan online. Mm-hmm. And of course, you want to get that in before the 18th. That's when you have the chance to win the costume from Iconic Mass.
Certainly. All right. So, can you just give the numbers just once more for those of you who are interested? And
yes.
I'm pretty sure after hearing this, a lot of people are interested because we have a lot of things coming up.
Yes.
Very soon in Tobago.
Yes.
A lot of action.
So, for information on this and all the other products and services here at Eastern Credit Union, be sure to visit our very active social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or you could contact us at 800-4ECU, that is 800-4328, or 800-LOAN, 800-5626, or visit our website at www.ecunewexperience.com. And finally, if you don't want to go through all that and you're more of an in-person, you can actually check us out at number 203 Milford Road, right here in Canaan, Tobago.
Certainly. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Lewis, for being on with us and for telling us about this promotion and views. Yes, you just heard about I Love Soca. We're going to be having Mr. David Rudder here. Yep. Come on, and if you're wondering, oh my goodness, how I'm going to get the money for that? Well, this is one option that's available to you. So take him up on the offer and get connected with Eastern Caribbean. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, viewers, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
So wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people.
rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Loving gives me fever. I feel like there's a bud in the ring. Sha-la-la-la-la. There's a bud in the ring. Sha-la-la-la-la.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, viewers. You know, over the past few weeks, we had some wonderful football action happening right here in Tobago. And it was concluded earlier this week with the champions being Stokeley Vale. So, guess what? We are being joined right now by a few members of the Plymouth Stokeley Vale team. So a special good morning to you, Mr. Quidal Jofield, who is the manager of the team, and Mr. James Campbell, who is the head coach of Stokeley Vale. Good morning and welcome to you both.
Good morning.
All right, so tell me, how has the tournament been? I mean, you guys blew through the competition.
Well, the tournament started off a bit shaky due to preparations from the club, but knowing the guys, we pushed through with the hard work and success at the end of the competition. So that is the Stokeley Vale way.
I like that. That's a Stokeley Vale way. Mr. Campbell, can you give me an idea of what's it like, what's the spirit like amongst the team members and so on?
Okay, the spirit around the team is very well. The
wanted to win the FA, and that would have boosted their chances to continue in the tournament. So winning this FA mean a lot to the Stokeley Vale team and also the village.
And then how, I mean, tell me about just even that support that you guys have gotten from the village to keep going all these years.
Well, to be honest, we always have the support from our home crowd, the Plymouth fans, but we were surprised with all the fans across the island. That was a bit more improved, so we appreciate it a lot to all the fans.
And what do you think this means now for the future of football? Because we saw quite a lot of excellent football coming out from this tournament, not just from you guys, but even throughout the whole, or throughout the other teams that were there.
Well, the football is growing because after COVID, it fell apart. So we're just glad that the football is back on the island playing and going forward, and the teams are putting out the energy and the effort to showcase the talent so that players could get a chance on the national team or abroad. So we're just glad that the football is back playing for now.
And Mr. Campbell, what's it been like, you know, working with the guys and getting them ready to be able to bring home the trophy?
Well, it's a lot of hard work. And during this preparation, we have to start from the beginning of the start of the FA. And during the practice session, you could see like the guys have been wanted to win, they show their talent, they want to come out and say, you know what, if you have to win a tournament like the FA Cup, you need to work extra hard, and they did that. And the results turned into our favor, which is good for them.
And then what can you tell me about some of the star players on your team, the members, I mean, the athletes that were able to perform?
Well, to be quite honest, it's a collective bunch, but we had to name out Kishon Joseph for having a wonderful game. He stood there and held the midfield together and rallied the team. Must give comments to the skipper, Calvin Chapman. He rallied his troops along the way, and as you know, in the game, we had a little hiccup with our goalkeeper, our emergency, and our standby goalkeeper came in, Mr. Jonathan Thomas, and he stood the show from there. It was all his coming down to the end.
And now, what is the future looking like?
Well, the future for Stokeley Vale, right now we are in need of a full-time sponsorship, so we are seeking that, but right now we are working with the youths more because, you know, the senior guys, they are off soon with age difference and injuries and stuff, so we are working more to develop the youths going forward.
And is there any other tournaments that you guys are looking at? What about on a national scale?
Well, we're hoping to get into the Tier 2 competition, that's the Super League, but again, finances and other little challenges, but the guys are ready and fully prepared, so we're just focusing on winning out this league competition, and then Tier 2, here we come.
And how can Tobago support you guys in moving forward?
Well, we'll continue to come out and support the guys. We try to do a little fundraiser, so we'll hope for the public assistance going forward.
Have you been able to attract any sponsors or any business support?
Yes, we had a few business support through the community. Miss Karen Forbes, she assisted us, and we have a lot of other contributors throughout the tournament, but we just need a major one to push the team in the right direction.
And do you think that you have what it takes to take on Tier 1 nationally?
Well, I could say yes, because we have been there already. Over the years, we have won the knockout competition in the Super League, as we call it, and we have to drop out because of financial situation. So now we are trying our best to see if we could get back there, because there are opportunity in the Super League that, you know, different coaches from Trinidad, even the national youth teams, coaches, the national coaches can see these players coming out of Tobago. And we're not say looking at only just Stokeley Vale, but we have to look at Tobago in general.
Yes, because like I said, we saw quite a lot of talent coming out of the competition this year. And I mean, you know, over the past few years, the conversation has been, why haven't we been able to have players from Tobago be on the national team? And are you guys now seeing, from what you witnessed this year, are you seeing that there is potential for Tobago players to be on the national team?
Well, I'll say yes, right? But I think too that we have a lot of talent that we talk about. We see a lot of players, but is just the dialogue between the two islands that could be able to say, okay, how could we get the players to Trinidad? How could we see more talent from Tobago? Because they can't say it by being in Trinidad. They have to come to Tobago to see what kind of talent Tobago have in generally. And in the improvement of the football in Tobago, I could say that the Speyside team who was our finalists, I think they have a lot of good players. The final was great. I think that was a great opportunity that the national coach could have been here to see this final so that they could have seen the kind of talent that Tobago is producing right now.
What do you think Tobago needs in order to, push football to the next level and to have it being taken more seriously, especially on a national scale?
Okay, what I would like to see is that, we want to see more improvement in the clubs. We want to see more improvement in the coaches. We want to see the president of the TFA find the solution or the dialogue between Trinidad and Tobago so that we could say, well, not just coming to Tobago for a day to say, well, you come to screen a player for a day. You don't see the best out of the players in one day. So they need to be able to get a Tobago-based team so that when this time comes, you could say, okay, they could bring the national team to Tobago to play the Tobago leg, and we could go to Trinidad to play them once more so that we could get the opportunity to see these players not only just for a day. Right? And I think that we're seeing some of the players now in Tobago are getting a little more serious because we have so many females on the national team, and the two top players in the national women team are one from our club, Stokeley Vale, which he was the former captain, I don't know if she still is, and the national goalkeeper. So that is a start, and then at the under 20 and under 17 level, you're seeing more females going, and that is good for Tobago in the female part of it. There were a young guy from Mount St. George who was part of the national under 17, just come off our tournament, and that is another good for us. So we are saying now that we need to push a little more for these youngsters and push a little bit more for Tobago in general to see that what we could find a solution to get more Tobago players on the national team.
Certainly. And, like I said, I said throughout the whole conversation, I've been quite impressed about just the athleticism that came forward from, and just the talent. And we're looking forward to seeing just corporate Tobago come on board to support teams like yourself.
Yes, of course. And this is what we're not having. And to get the football going forward, we need to get corporate people from Tobago to involve in it to make sure that, we see that these players could even go to the national level and even go beyond national level. We can't just look at it as leave it up to the TFA to do these things. Everybody has to come on board if we have to be able to see this project. And the product has to be Tobago had to stand firm with everybody that we could be able to push the talent to make Tobago proud.
And what would you like to see for TFA as a manager of a team, in terms of, pushing football to the next level?
Well, there's a smooth flowing because we're having some hiccups in the competition whereas the grounds aren't ready. So we need more support to the TFA president, Mr. Alfred. He's doing a wonderful job with the ideas in this competition, but he does need the support from everyone, the whole community, the whole island, the business people in the community. Just to give us a little push so the youngsters will have the opportunity.
All right, great. Well, we are actually over time this morning, but so we're coming down to the end of it. But I just want you guys to just take a few moments just to really address or talk about, just the performance of your team, and as we wrap up the conversation.
Okay. Well, we went into the FA finals to win, and I think that Speyside come to win.
Yes.
All right. And when the game started and the timeline that they scored, well, I was like, don't worry, be patient. The game now started, so let's relax and play. And when I see they pull one goal back to go to a 2-1, I say, well, that is the start of it. And when they come back to 3-1, and then we go 3-2, then we equalize. I say, well, this is our opportunity to win the game. and the guys stand up and did it. But all in all, I want to say even congratulations to Speyside. It was one of the greatest finals I ever seen Tobago for the long while. People didn't know it, but we were the defending FA champions, and we win it for a second time in a row. But I'm not putting nothing past Speyside. They did really well.
And Mr. Mr. Joefield.
Well, it was really interesting, as the coach said. For me, I was a bit more nervous, right, when we went 2-0 down. But as the coach said, don't worry, buddy, we got this. And the guys wanted the support. So as the head, I could not have fallen below and showing them that I was panicking. So I stood my grounds, and the guys told me, manage, we got this. We're going to bring it back. And as we went 3-3, I said, yeah, Speyside is in trouble. And at the end, we were victorious.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for being on with us and for sharing just the victory with us. And we're looking forward. Let me tell you something. I'm personally looking forward to see where Stokeley Vale grows from here. And yeah, keep forging the way through football in Tobago.
Okay. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure being here.
All right, great. So, well, viewers, that's it for the program this morning. I want to thank you so much for being on with us. And I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend. You know, we got a whole lot happening this weekend. Just be safe in whatever you do. And we'll see you again on Monday.
It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say, thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.